a very special show. This is all about your health, your mind, and your body, Now let me introduce you to your host, the lovely Mr. Zuri.
Let me hit your voice on your shoulders. Let me blow your mind. Let's talk about statistics in real time. This is great. She's the only one I bring it to life. The only one I let it flow through you. Yeah. So sit back and relax and open up your mind. This is great. She's the only one I bring it to you. The only one I let it flow through you. Yeah. So sit back and relax and open up your mind. All right. All right, you guys, this is Creative Artist Spotlight and your host, your girl, Ms. Nazuri. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this Wednesday night. It has been a minute since we've done a Wednesday night show, but you know, I had to come back with it. And usually we do our Living Well by Mind, Body, and Soul shows on Wednesday. But I needed to, do an interview with none other than the infamous Matthew Davis. Now, some of you guys probably know who he is. And some of you may not. That's okay. We're going to get into all of that. But he is world-renowned. He is awesome. He is a fabulous musician. So this is Matthew Davis, and you guys can see him. I'm sure you can. Absolutely. So we're going to get into our interview again. Thank you so much for joining us. I am your host, Mrs. Ray. All right. So I'm going to turn to the side because this is a little bit different for me, but that's okay. So I call him Pop because it's my father-in-law, right? So I don't want to call him by his first name. It's just disrespect type of thing. Anyway, so Pop, I want to know about when you started your journey. Like, what age were you when you started your journey?
Well, you want the journey or you want the beginning?
The beginning,
when I first started learning how to play?
Yeah, play, sing, like when you...
All of that.
Yes, tell me the story, the timeline.
The timeline. Well, I was about 15 when I first started learning how to play my first instrument.
And what instrument was that?
It was a trombone, and I was in elementary school at the time. And that's where I learned how to read on the trombone, man. And played my first solo when I was probably about 16.
Awesome.
A year later, I played a solo on the horn, and Close to You. I never forget that. But it was a good start for me. You know?
Awesome. So at the time when you first started playing the trombone, were you singing around that time, or were you singing before that time, or so you weren't singing at that time?
No, I wasn't singing at all. I started playing in a band.
Okay.
And we were living in the projects.
Okay.
And so I actually saw this guy playing the guitar, the guy that taught me. And his name was Tony Williams.
Nice.
I saw him playing on the porch one day, and I said, "Hey, man, you need to show me how to do that."
Awesome.
He said, "What do you mean I need to show you?" I said, "You need to show me how to do that. I need to learn that."
Right.
And he started me on the 6-string guitar.
Wow.
I learned the first 4 notes on the bass because he needed a bass player. He said, "I'll teach you the bass." And the first 4 strings, the low end of the strings, E, A, D, G, is the bass string. So that's where I learned how to play bass on a 6-string guitar.
Wow. So I don't know how many. Look, I'm not musically savvy at all, you guys. As far as like playing instruments. So on the guitar, and I'm just gonna pivot just a little bit because now I'm interested and intrigued. So on the guitar, you said a 6-string guitar. Like, how many strings does a regular one have?
Well, a regular one has 6.
Okay.
But we take the first 4, and those are the bass. When you take a
at the bottom bass, ones?
Yeah, at the low end,
Okay.
The E, the A, the D, and the G.
Okay.
Those are the first 4 strings on the guitar on the low end, okay? Mm-hmm. And, so I learned how to play the bass lines on that guitar, on a 6-string guitar.
Wow.
We didn't have a bass at the time.
Right.
So once I got a bass, it was just start with the 4-string, but I already was familiar with the 4-string.
Right, because you had learned on the 6-string. See, exactly. I never knew that you could even do that. So that's why I'm kind of intrigued, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm like, I never heard about that, never knew that could even happen. Yes. Okay, so started playing the bass. Now, is this around the same amount of time that you were playing the trombone?
Yes. Matter of fact, I kept playing trombone all the way from elementary school all the way up after high school.
Okay. So that just came. That just
put all that together because the bass clef and the trombone is the same clef instrument. It's a treble clef. It's a bass clef instrument. So it was easy for me to convert both of those together. You know? Wow.
So the trombone and then the bass.
Right. Then I learned how to read the bass when I was in high school because I was doing. I was in the stage band in high school.
Nice. Yeah, that gives a lot of practice. Yeah. That definitely does.
So I was already prepared for all the stuff that I learned through high school, through junior high. Mm-hmm. And then I sat first chair first in all the bands, like all city, all county.
Nice.
First chair first on the trombone section.
That's fantastic.
And once I got to high school, I was probably the lead bass player at the school.
What? Oh, that's dope. I like that. That's really dope. I mean, because it shows your skill. Yeah. And, the teacher's not going to be like, oh, let me make you the lead bass player and you can't play bass. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's awesome. Yeah. So then you have the bass and you're in high school. You know how to play the trombone, the bass. Okay, so take me through like what happened. What was the instrument that was next after the bass?
Well, before I get to all that, there's a lot of transition things that happened in between that.
No worries.
When I got in high school, I finally got in I was in a band, which the name of the band was an old school band, an R&B band, and it was called Compulsion.
Okay.
I learned they had 3 horns in the band.
All right.
We had a 3-piece rhythm section, guitar, bass, and drums. And,
nice.
And then, so I learned how to play, and then we had 2 professional singers up front, female and a male. So I backed that band up just playing the bass. And I learned how to do a lot of songs, Earth, Wind, and Fire, all the standards. From Brick House to everything that it takes to do a gig. Okay?
Right.
So after that band broke up later on. So I joined while I was in high school. It was another band that came along, and the band Sequence 8, the band I went on my first tour with.
Gotcha. We're definitely going to get into that in a moment, but go ahead.
Yeah, but so all that was transitioning, was building my skills up to lead into that band. And in that band, that's when I played bass in that band and started singing as well.
And that band as well. Okay, so now we'll get into the Sequence 8 because you did some phenomenal things with them. And I want everybody to know about it because at your age, I would have not. It's one of those things because you were so young, and he's going to tell the story in a minute, guys. Just give me a second. Because you were so young and the things that you did without, like a record deal per se, if that makes any sense.
Right.
So I just think it's phenomenal, everything that you did. And he's going to explain everything that happened with the band Sequence 8 and everything that happened as far as his touring and things of that nature.
Right. So, once I got out of high school, I joined that band when I was in the 11th or 12th grade, around that way. And so as soon as I finished school, we went on our first tour overseas on a PACAF tour. It was an Air Force tour. So we traveled maybe 4 or 5 countries in that. It was like a 4-month tour package. So, going from Hawaii.
That's awesome.
We drove to California. We flew from California
from Augusta?
From Augusta. We drove through the desert to get to California.
Long drive, right?
Long drive. Long drive. So after getting on that first tour, we went to Hawaii, we went to Korea, we went to Japan. And different parts of the cities in each city, we traveled and did different, bases that was in the city. We might have done Korea, we might have did 3 bases in there, and Hawaii, we might have did 3 or 4.
Wow. So you were basically going to the Air Force bases and performing.
Exactly.
How did that come about? How did you guys get that opportunity? Because that seems great.
Well, back in the day, we were going out. When I got with the band Sequence 8, we were playing a lot. Mm-hmm. And we got very popular in this city. And so an agency picked us up out of Dayton, Ohio, which we used to go out and watch other bands come, like Roger Troutman. Through Roger Troutman, we met an agent out of Dayton, Ohio. And his name was Tom Quarles. And Tom Quarles knew all the agents overseas.
Wow.
So Tom Quarles decided that, he's going to put us on the road.
That's so dope.
That's how we got from Augusta to Ohio and overseas and everywhere else,
Wow. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Those are some great experiences.
Yeah.
What would you say is your favorite was like your favorite place to have played at overseas?
My favorite place, I don't know. Well, maybe Japan. I got a chance to, because after the first tour, we came back home.
Okay.
And got a chance to go back overseas again on a second tour. But we played, it wasn't an Air Force tour.
Okay.
It was a tour that played 2 clubs in the city. We played in the city of Akasaka, Tokyo.
Nice.
Okay?
I want to go to Tokyo so bad. Go ahead.
Yeah. and we played 2 clubs a night.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I remember them very well. One of the names was Pepe de Moco, and the other one was called Popcorn. So,
wow, I like those names.
Yeah, Popcorn. They had some different names over there. Period.
Yeah.
Even the symbols of the street. Like the L is pronounced like an R. So there's a lot of stuff we had to learn how to speak and how.
I was gonna say, did you guys have to learn how to speak the language?
Yeah, I had to tell the.
Yeah, there was no Google Translate back then, so you had to figure it out. You guys didn't walk around with the translation books.
No, I didn't. I learned how to go from here to there. I know Shingo Migi means at the red light make a right. Coco Eaters means stop right here.
Oh, wow. No, that's right. Like you knew the specifics of what you needed to know. I think that's so awesome. So when you were there and you were doing the 2 clubs a night, how many months did you stay there?
That tour, when I went back to Tokyo, that was like 6 months. Yeah,
wow.
We stayed there 6 months. I got a chance to tour that twice. And,
that's so awesome.
With the band Sequence 8, and then with another band, after I left Sequence 8, I traveled with another band out of Dayton, Ohio, which was called the Tony Elliott Band, which I was the band director of that band.
Wow.
And we went back over the same trip again, on the same tour.
So you had been, that's great, because that means that you were doing a great job if you were constantly being called back.
Yeah.
They were really enjoying the music, and I'm quite sure that they did. I'm quite sure you signed tons of autographs while you were there.
I did, and I got a lot of autographs.
Nothing wrong with that.
From Japanese artists.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, they had and then I got a chance to meet a lot of people, because in Tokyo, they got different clubs, just like at home.
Yeah.
They had a funk club there with where the Bar-Kays and Confunction and everybody
nice.
Played. Called Mugen. Yeah. So we used to go down to Mugen when we on our off days.
Right.
We go to Mugen and check out the other bands.
So you were hanging out with celebs too.
I was hanging out with everybody.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. So basically your whole time, every time you've gone over there, how long would you say that you stayed over, like that you in a cumulative number, like how many years, or because what was like 2 years, a year and a half?
Well, we
even
probably did at
but
one time probably 6 or 7 months.
Okay.
If they wanted us to extend or something like that. If they really like you, they said, well, we want you guys to stay another month or so.
Okay.
But then we'll come back, and do another one. We kind of like other bands come in, then we come behind them.
And then you come behind them.
Yeah. That kind of thing.
So literally you were over there for a good number of time.
Oh, yeah. From probably
time.
Yeah, probably about almost a couple years.
Couple years, yeah. Mm-hmm. So that means if you were there for a couple of years, that means that, your name would have gotten, especially your band, would have gotten out there as far as the name is concerned. So when you came back to the States for good, where you stayed in the States,
right?
What did you do after? What were you doing after that?
Well, after I came back, I got off the road so that I could raise my son.
Okay.
Because I wanted him to have a better life than mine. Okay?
Absolutely.
That's one of the main reasons that took me off the road. So I came home and I said, well, I got to start doing something, and I started writing music and learning how to record music, and I wanted to produce music and learn how to produce and write.
Okay.
So therefore, I started building me a studio.
Oh, nice.
And I started with cassette decks,
Right.
And I always used to copy from this cassette deck over to that cassette deck.
Right.
Until I, get it sounding where I wanted to sound.
Right.
And then I started going to the real recorders, and after that, I just kept building and building and building.
And because that's really, it's about consistency at the end of the day. That's really all you can do, is continue to just thrive on it and keep doing what you have to do. Mm-hmm. So back then when you were, being a dad and working and doing all those things, was there a time where you ever missed being on the road?
Oh, I always missed it, but I knew that if I was going to stay in this business, I had to become something that they will recognize as who I am.
Right, that's very true.
So I wanted my music to be exposed and not me playing everybody else's music.
Gotcha. So you don't have to be doing cover songs all the time. You wanted your music to say, speak for itself and be like, exactly. Oh, that's Matthew Davis. Right. It makes a lot of sense. Absolutely. Right. So once you started doing your recordings and once you really started getting your feet wet and you knew like what was going on, you're buying the equipment and things of that nature. I want to know about your first single, like,
Okay.
What's the name of the first single?
The first single that I wrote was called Put It on the Level. Put It on the Level was the first song I wrote for Sequence 8 Band.
Nice.
8 Band. And that song got very popular.
Okay.
Especially at home, it got very popular.
Okay.
Overseas in Europe and everywhere else. Matter of fact, you can probably go on YouTube and Google Sequence 8 Matthew Davis or Put It on the Level. You would see. I'm sorry. You would see that song was very popular.
Nice.
That people still selling that if you can find it.
Wow.
For like maybe $80 to $100. Just the 45. It came out on the 45.
Oh yeah. So yeah, those are like masterpieces and they're nostalgic. Absolutely.
Everything was on records then. On lacquer. So those records were very, very popular. And overseas now, if you had some of those records, they would go for a lot of money.
Wow, absolutely. So that song, and then that got good traction.
Mm-hmm.
Was there at any time when that song was getting good traction that like anybody came to you and was like, hey, do you want to go on tour and start a tour or anything like that?
Not necessarily. We just kept playing with the band. We wanted to be the best band all the time.
Okay.
So we did different things, different colleges and stuff like that.
Okay.
We traveled Michigan.
Okay, well, you still were touring. You just weren't touring outside the country, but you were still touring.
Yeah, we were still touring. We were touring.
Okay.
We were going up to Michigan, Chicago, different places.
Okay.
Just doing regular gigs. It was gigging. It wasn't like big shows.
Right.
We did open up for a lot of different bands. Like back home, we opened up for the Barcades.
Oh, I love the Barcades.
We opened up for Lakeside.
Nice. See, you was doing it.
Yeah. So the band Sequence 8, we stayed together a long time.
Wow.
Off and on. And in between those things, I was developing my stuff.
Absolutely.
And I was steady writing and putting the music together. So finally, I started coming out with different music. And I think I met a guy out of California. His name was Leon Hayward.
Okay.
Leon Hayward was a very popular artist back when we were coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And he wrote a song called I Want to Do Something Freaky to You. If everybody go back and Google that song, I Want to Do Something.
Y'all go Google that song.
It was a very popular song.
Go Google it.
So, and I got it on my wall right over there. So,
okay.
It's that's one of the second cuts that someone found and he liked it once I sent it to him.
Nice.
And he said, man, I like this. This is good music.
Wow.
And he really didn't change a whole lot about it. He just put a different voice on it. One of the guys was from right here in Augusta that sung with me in Sequence 8.
Wow.
His voice got on that record.
That's awesome.
It was called Love It or Leave It.
Wow. So you was doing you still doing big stuff, but you've constantly been consistent doing big things.
Right.
So I think that's phenomenal. Okay, so we're gonna pivot a minute because we're gonna talk about some more singles that you've had, and then we're gonna get into his new single, y'all. So it's gonna take a second, but we're gonna get into this new single in a minute. Okay, so I need next song.
The next song, I think I did This How We Roll. And that was when I formed my own band, Matthew Davis and New Soul.
Yes, I love that song too.
Yeah. And so This How We Roll, it did okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I put the album out, Matthew Davis, Getting to Know Me, the Sexy Man album.
Yes, love that one too.
The Sexy Man album. And if you guys go Google that one, you can find it out there, The Sexy Man, capital DASEXXY, Sexy Man, M-A-N. So
and you guys, we'll give you his handles before we get off the interview, so that way you guys can go search him. I would just say go Google him, but I don't want to be ignorant right now. So, we'll give the handles when we get done with the interview. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's okay. Well, that's after the This How We Roll from that.
Okay, and then we had the Sexy Man.
And then I put the Sexy Man album out.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I have 13 songs on that album.
13 songs, yeah. So you could literally sit on that and just put out little... Yeah. Little, you can sit on that. Didn't you have a video to one of the songs?
Actually, yes, I did. Go for what you know.
Yes, I remember the video. I'm like, I know there's a video. Yeah. So you guys go on YouTube and find that too. You'll tell me we'll be able to find it on there. Absolutely. So Go for What You Know is in a video. And how did that kind of fare? How did that do?
It did very well.
Nice.
It actually went in different countries with that album.
Awesome.
When it came out, it went further than I thought it would go. Mm-hmm. This was a different vibe because then I'm a single artist now.
Right.
I don't have a band back
behind you. Right.
I had my own band doing shows locally.
Right.
But the album was just about me.
Exactly.
So now I'm like, wow, I'm out here by myself now.
Right.
There's no band behind me. I'm not with a group of guys anymore.
Right.
It's just a little bit of me now. So put the album out. I know it went to Tokyo. It went to, I think it went to Europe. I'm pretty sure it did. I can go back and look at the sales. It went to about 3 or 4 different countries.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
So it did good. It didn't make me rich or nothing like that.
Right, but I mean, at least it was out there.
I got royalties behind it. That's the first album that I got royalties from.
That's great. That's how it's supposed to be, because now you're seeing the fruits of your labor.
Exactly.
Seeing the fruits of your labor by doing, when you see the royalties, and with that, all of that happening with that, like, how was it for you going from band to now doing single stuff? So, like, if you were to do a show, does it feel weird, or
Yes, real weird, very weird.
Because I'm like,
I remember the first show I did as a solo artist. Well, what was the first show? Because I was doing other shows, like in the city of Augusta. Like doing opening up for. I played on the show with Calvin Richardson.
Oh, wow.
Different people.
I know y'all know who Calvin Richardson is.
Right. And I was opening up for different bands, different artists that was coming here. Okay.
Oh, nice.
It was called the Kids Family Reunion, matter of fact. Right.
Okay. Yep. Know what that is.
But when I opened up, they called me to open up for Howard Hewitt. Okay.
Dope. That's so dope.
That's when I realized I'm in a whole nother league.
Yes, absolutely. That's so awesome.
Yeah. Now I'm on shows with real singers,
Yeah.
So it's like I gotta really man up now. So this is
so awesome. Yeah. So now here we are, 2024. 2024. And you have this awesome, amazing song that is out right now, and we're going to get ready to play it for you guys before I start asking him questions about it, because I want you guys to hear it if you didn't already hear a little bit in the clip that in the video that I posted earlier with our interview flyer. So this is, you want to introduce it?
This is my new single, and it's called Goody.
By Matthew Davis.
By Matthew Davis, Goody. I think you ladies can relate to this, because all of you guys are goodies, right?
I want to talk about this good, because she makes me feel so good, so sweet, so fine. She stays on my mind. She's got that goody. She's got that goody. Give me good love. That's the way I like it. Just can't get enough. That girl, that good stuff. Thinking about her all the time. Always on my mind. I give her all my money. She put me the way I like.
Y'all better get up and dance.
She's got that goody, goody. Goody, goody. The way she walks, she just has a piece of town. I love the way she calls my name. I Her tastes like ice cream. You know that's so sweet. I taste it really now. Just so unique. Now my girl, she's got that goody goody. That goody goody. She's got that goody goody. Yeah. Goody goody goody. Yeah. So good, so good. She's got a good thing. I don't wanna let her go. No, no. I'm gonna hold you tight, baby. Hold you tight, hold you tight. Give you my loving for the rest of my life. She's got a good thing. She's got a good thing. She's got that goody goody. Goody goody goody. She's got that goody. She's got that goody. Goody goody. She's got that goody goody. Goody goody. No, she's got that goody goody. Goody goody. She makes me feel so good.
I'm not sure what's happening. We're having some technical difficulties. You guys want it to be okay?
Just close that folder. Oh boy. I'm gonna have the engineer. There you go.
Okay, thank you. So, you guys, that was Goody by Matthew Davis. If you guys weren't up out of your seat dancing, I don't even know what to tell you, because let me tell you something. Every time I hear that song, that's all I can do is dance. I love it so much. So let's pivot into the song. What was the inspiration behind the song? That's what I want to know first. What was the inspiration?
All goodies. Well, you know, when you're in different relationships and going through a lot of different phases in life, you think about all the things that build relationships. You think about all the good things in relationships.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? How she makes you feel. Her smell, her look, her eyes. You know what I'm saying? So she had all these goodies about her, So it was a very fascinating song to do. It was very interesting, very, very it came to me like in a day. I wrote and produced this song in 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that means that it was meant for you to do it, because anytime you can write, produce, in that quick of a time frame, it means that it was supposed to just happen. It makes sense, because it sounds really, really good. It definitely does. So what are the plans, like, what is happening right now with the song, and like, are there any plans in play as far as your schedule with the song?
A lot of things are getting ready to take place. I'm actually in the process of working with an agent now to start traveling.
Awesome.
And I'm going to do some local dates. I'm going to do some international dates.
Nice.
It's only been out a couple months now.
Yeah.
And it is really picking up steam a lot faster than I thought. Most time it takes, with these days, it takes music a lot longer to get out there now, because back then they used to play music 7 days a week.
Yeah.
But nowadays they play it maybe on the weekend or even once a week. But now it's in rotation here in Augusta, Georgia. So.
And that's awesome, definitely. Because I remember we were last week. This just past weekend, we had my mother-in-law had his birthday party, and we're gonna have her on tomorrow, but she has the airplay, and it was playing at his birthday party every hour on the hour, and I just thought that was the sweetest thing. So he's getting airplay on the radio, which I think is phenomenal. So more people can hear you, because I think in this day and age, more people are streaming music on like Pandora or YouTube or whatever the case may be, whatever other channels to stream. Than they are listening to the radio.
Exactly.
Or they're streaming it from the radio. Because like for me, if I can find a radio station on my phone that I can download an app, then that's what I want to do.
Exactly.
I don't mind listening to it on the radio, but 9 times out of 10, I'm going to have my phone with me.
Exactly.
So I'm not really, and I'm in the house because I work from home. So I'm not going to be in my car listening to the radio. But if I can get that, that 100.9 on my phone as an app so that I can listen to the radio all day, then that's what I'm going to do.
Exactly.
So I think that's phenomenal that it's all different ways, because don't you have the song on all streaming platforms too?
Yes, it does. It's on all the it's on Amazon, it's on iTunes, so you can pretty much get it on everything. On YouTube, Spotify.
Okay.
It's on pretty much all the platforms out there. So it shouldn't be hard to find that song now. And I want to ask you guys to do me a favor, though. If you do decide to listen to that music, if you do me a favor and download it to your phone and go out. It only costs you 99 cents to get the phone record. iTunes it's only $1.99. So if you guys want to help out a thriving artist to do better, maybe that would help me get my next track out there. And,
absolutely.
That would help me to buy me a little sandwich every now and then.
A sandwich.
Give me something to drink.
Right.
You know how it is.
Absolutely. So with it being on all the major platforms, and you're getting ready to do some touring, I think that's great. So everything that's getting ready to happen with this song, have you, and I know you guys, I just want to say something really quickly. He's retired now, right?
I am retired.
So he pretty much can do whatever he wants.
I can do
whatever he wants, right?
Finally got to that point, yes.
So you're going to do like a pivot, because now you're going to be on the road doing the song. I just have a quick question. Are you going to be doing any band stuff, like once you're going to be doing your touring stuff? Are they going to be going on tour with you to maybe play, background, the music, the instruments and things of that nature?
Yeah, different places. Here, Columbia, Atlanta, North Carolina. Those dates where it's not too expensive to travel with the big band.
Right.
I do prefer playing with the band.
Right.
Let's say that now. I would do track shows, and track shows is what a lot of artists do to get there to the plateau they need to get to. But I would prefer a band, and I will take my band. I got a bunch of nice young guys that's very talented, very, very talented and skillful, and I like to see them go further than I ever went.
Absolutely. And that's another thing that I wanted to talk to you about, is because I know that you're also mentoring.
Exactly.
And I think that that's so important in this day and age, because there are a lot of kids out here that need it so badly.
Yes.
And there also are a lot of kids out here that actually love music, right? But they don't know the direction that they want to go into, and they don't have anybody to kind of steer them in that direction either, or help them. So I think that it's fantastic. And I want you to tell the audience just a little bit about what you're doing as far as, your mentoring is concerned.
Well, I started teaching music right here in my studio. I started teaching music, guitar and bass lessons, beginning keyboards. So the next thing I would like to do, since I got into the production side of it, and I kind of understand what this business requires when it comes to all the publishing and all that. A lot of people don't understand the publishing side and the royalties. And I would like to work with younger, the business side. I would like to work with other artists and help them pioneer themselves to get out there on another platform, a higher platform than where they're at now.
Absolutely.
And some of them are doing very well, but they're not going from here to city to city. They're more doing it locally,
right?
And it would be nice to be able to have other artists in front of me that I kind of paved the way for, help bring it up under me, It doesn't matter. I would just like to see other people go.
That's just our invitation. Me and my husband will be underneath our father. So that's just letting you know. That's the invitation.
Yeah. And for others out there that's got that talent, for other people that's out there that got that talent, look me up. If you really want to do this business, you want to get into it and be serious about it.
Right.
Because it is a business.
Yes, and it costs money.
It's a business, and it costs money. So, and that's the biggest holdback, I think, for a lot of artists that can't get to the next level of the finance side of it.
Right. And I think that's awesome.
It does get expensive.
It does. It really does. And I think because I mean, me and your son, we've been doing this for a long time. So
yeah, you guys have been doing it for a long time.
We've put thousands and thousands of dollars into everything that we've done. So I definitely understand it. And I just think that it's phenomenal that you're helping others pave the way, because you yourself have had others that help you pave the way.
Exactly.
And now here you are as an example to say, you know what, let me help someone else, other people, to pave the way. So that way, if they really, really want to do it, I can actually be a help to them. And at least you're that way, because there are a lot of people out here that can help others and they choose not to.
Exactly.
So, I just think that that's awesome. Every step of the way, because I know that you always hold your hand out. You extend your hand out to everybody that you're around. If you really want it, he's going to help you get it. What we're going to do now is I'm going to have him give you his handles. So that way, you guys, if you need to, look him up. But what I want to say first, once he gives you the handles, I want each and every last one of you, and I'm going to find out how many viewers is at the end of the show. I want each and every last one of you guys to go on his YouTube once he gives you the handle. Go subscribe to his page, right? So you guys can hear all the new stuff that's coming out, because there's going to be some new stuff. You can see what's going on in his life, because his life is not dull by any means. So you're going to want to see the stuff, right? Y'all be nosy just like I am. You're going to want to see the stuff. So Pop, what is your Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok?
Well, you know what? That's a good question. On Facebook,
okay,
The Artist.
So DA?
Capital DA. The Artist.
Okay.
On Facebook. And you can find me as well as Matthew Davis. You will also see the logo here. You would see the music as you scroll down the page. So you can find me. That'll be the logo. And it's on both of my pages on Facebook. Instagram, you can find me as Matthew Davis. I think it's Matthew 104 or something like that on Instagram. I know it. That's going to be.
It's sad.
Matthew 104. I don't know what they gave me.
It's sad. I don't know.
And I hope I change all that around some later. But anyway,
we'll get it situated for you.
We will. But you can find me on YouTube as Matthew Davis. My channel is out there. Just Google The Goody, and it'll pop up.
Yeah, Google Goody, and it'll pop up for his YouTube. That way you guys can go subscribe and like the song.
Exactly.
And share the song. Share it on your Instagram. Share it on your Facebook. Share it on your TikTok. Just share it, you guys. This is what we do. We support each other. I want to let you guys know. I want to tell my father-in-law first. I'm so appreciative for you doing this interview with me.
I appreciate you doing this interview.
So
this is very interesting for me, because you're my daughter.
You're right.
And, to have you interview me, that's and hey, because you're so good with it.
Thank you.
I just want to tell you.
Thank you so much.
I'm glad you with my son.
Yeah, thank you.
Trying to help him motivate and keep him straight. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're on camera. I'm just playing, y'all.
I guess he knows what a goodie is too. So.
Yeah, he definitely knows what a goodie is, because that would be me. Absolutely. No, I just want to thank you so much, because, you took the time out of your schedule. You're retired. I know you being here doing your music and recording and fixing your music and all types of stuff. So you took time out of your schedule. The pleasure's all mine for me doing the interview for you, because I'm like, he's about to get really, really busy, and I want to interview him before he does.
Yep.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Everybody out there watching, I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for watching. Again, this is Creative Artist Spotlight with your girl, Miss Missouri. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Good night.
Good night.
He's supposed to turn the camera off, and he didn't. Night-night. And